Learn from these three mistakes that I made inside my hypnosis practice that cost me money, time, and wasted energy. So the first one is preparing for my section sessions. The second is focusing on convincing my clients about hypnosis and talking about hypnosis too much with my potential clients. And number three is falling for the damn healing, the next healing method, shiny object syndrome. So let's go through all three. Let's go with the first one, preparing for sessions. So I like to explain this by asking a question. Have you ever rehearsed over and over again how a conversation would go with someone in your life? For example, your partner. You wanted to talk to them about something difficult and you rehearsed the conversation over and over in your head, and then the conversation happened and it didn't go as expected. Right. So this was what I did. This was what I was doing. I would overly prepare for my sessions, and really that just came from lack of confidence with my ability to investigate the problem. But I mean, I didn't know that back then. But it because I wanted to really over prepare, and there's some personal stuff that was really deep in there of wanting to just know before believing or completely trusting myself. Worked on that as well, but really preparing for my sessions was a complete waste of time because whatever came up within my client sessions anyway were so unpredictable that I needed to be on my feet anyway and to think through and become creative throughout the session anyway in order for me to truly help my clients. And so that was, one of the things that was just a waste of time. I did well with being creative within the session anyway. So me preparing and overly preparing was more of a distraction for me, to be quite honest, and more of a way for me to soothe my lack of confidence, to tell myself that, yep, I've prepared 3 hours, which means that I can do it, even though the actual preparation wasn't actually helpful. So that was the first one. But once I stopped preparing, my client sessions were actually better because you can't really predict stuff, right? As humans, we are incredibly dynamic. So preparing is pointless. And number two, focusing on convincing my clients of hypnosis way too much because I was scared. I was so scared that my clients could not be hypnotized. So during our strategy or sales call, I would be like, okay, so visualize the time when you had your favorite fit. And, they tell me and they describe to me their favorite outfit. And then I tell them, okay, so that's how it would feel like to go through scenes because I was trained in, an age regression and inner child thing. So by having them do that exercise, that's how they could tell what it would feel like, which was a good practice, actually. It was helpful, but at the same time, it didn't work for all clients. I had clients who um, had blank scenes where they couldn't see anything, they couldn't feel anything, and they doubted the images that were going through their minds. And really, this was back when I didn't know that there you don't have to regress your clients. There are many different ways to still help our clients without the forced regressions. But I didn't know this back then, and so instead, what I would do now, and this is was what I this was what I did when I started using conversational hypnosis. To be honest, I actually didn't call it conversational hypnosis. I called it subconscious rewiring and conversational subconscious rewiring. And I just told my clients that we're just going to have a conversation. It might be a weird conversation, but the point is we're going to get you the results as fast as we can. So really focusing on the results. And of course, they want to know what the method is. So I say that, I use a method of subconscious rewiring. It's hypnotic in principle, but it really doesn't look like the traditional hypnosis. And we're just going to have a conversation and go from there. It's going to be very fun. It will help you get client results and really tying into their client results instead of the little details that really they don't care about. They just want an overview as to what to expect. It's just going to be a conversation. We're going to talk, but we're going to talk with your unconscious mind. Like that was the focus, and that was to the extent that I explained it. There was no like video that I had to give them. I could have to systemize it, but I didn't. So that's that. And the number three mistake is falling for the shiny object. And now I know that it wasn't really because something was wrong with me and I couldn't get it, or my excuse was that I love learning, which is true. I do love learning, but I haven't really found a new method or a new technique to have because through advanced conversational hypnosis through ACH, we learn principles, and it's kind of like, the gym, there are basic movement patterns, right? There's the squat, there's a deadlift, there's a push up, and then the pull up. Really, if you focus on all of those things, you will get a fit body, right? You will increase your weight, you will get stronger just by focusing on those basic principle movement patterns. And it's the same thing in ACH. Like once you learn the basic principles, you don't need something else. You don't need to do anything else because you're just going to get better at the principles that you already know. It's the same thing over and over again, which is kind of like the gym, right? If you want to be able to squat 100 pounds, um, are you going to get there faster if you try all of the different movements or by focusing on squats strategically, right? So focusing on squats strategically, that we are going to get faster and better at squatting higher weights. Same thing for the hypnotic therapeutic work. Once we know the principles and practice and apply the principles over and over again consistently with time, we are going to get better at the principles. And the thing that we really focused on or still focus on in ACH is the investigation phase, right? Investigating the client's problem, just knowing how to do that over and over again. If you just got better at that skill every day for 90 days, how fast or how much better are your client results going to be? I betcha skyrocket, right? So instead of focusing on the different training modalities, I knew the principles anyway. And once you know the principles, you ain't going back to those techniques because then you see the flaws, all the different techniques, flaws in the regression, the flaws in the visualization, because now you know exactly how to do it. And it's so simple and it's just so much easier to work on squatting every single day instead of doing all of these things that would just regress us from the actual skill that is going to be uncomfortable because it's going to be challenging at first. It's like training wheels. Um, but it is through doing all of that and being consistent that truly helped me skyrocket and get amazing results, such as clients saying, I felt like I've had 5 therapy sessions in one. I mean, who wouldn't want that result, right? That's damn crazy. That's amazing. And saving a couple's marriage in 30 days. Like that is an amazing result, and that was by learning from these three mistakes. So never prepped when I helped that couple. I never really explained to them what it was going to happen. All I said was to have a conversation, very strategic with your unconscious, and they were like, "Cool, save our marriage." And the last one was I didn't need to do something new or prepare or try to study a new modality once I got them, even though I hadn't worked with couples before. I just trusted that the principles were enough, and they were more than enough. So I hope this helped because really all of that time and all of the money spent with those other modalities, you don't have to go through that. So um, I'm giving you all of this now so that you can learn and hopefully save some money and get your time back. So if you have any questions at all, let me know and I will see you soon.